If you weren't watching, you missed one of the most intense, heart-pounding knockout matches this league has seen in years. The Vancouver Whitecaps are through to their first ever Western Conference final. Now, what does this really mean? It means they've finally overcome the team that had eliminated them twice in recent years, a true playoff nemesis. From the very first whistle, you could just feel it in the air. This wasn't going to be a routine match. It turned into one of those nights you'll be talking about for years to come. Before we even hit extra time, the entire game had been turned on its head. The Whitecaps battled through serious adversity. The black and gold mounted a stunning comeback, and in the end, it was the raw drama of penalties that decided who would advance. This victory isn't just a win, it's a massive milestone in Vancouver's club history. So, let's break it down, moment by moment. From the opening whistle, you could feel this match wasn't going to follow any script. The stadium was absolutely electric, the players were visibly wired, and a thick tension hung over every single pass. The Vancouver Whitecaps came out swinging, immediately taking control of the game. They looked aggressive, hungry, and determined to set the tone early. Their early pressure paid off in spectacular fashion. Emmanuel Sabbi, showing incredible pace and determination, chased down a long ball that looked like it might be a lost cause. He kept his balance under pressure, fought off a defender, and with ice in his veins, slipped the ball past the keeper for the opening goal. 1-0 to Vancouver, and the home crowd absolutely erupted. It was the perfect start they had dreamed of. The Whitecaps didn't just sit back on their lead. They kept pushing, looking for that crucial second goal to really take command of the tie. They continued to win their battles in midfield and create chances, putting LAFC on the back foot. And then, right before the halftime whistle, the moment arrived. Off a corner kick, the ball bounced around frantically in the box. A classic goalmouth scramble. It fell to Matthias Laborda, who reacted quicker than anyone else. He absolutely pounced on the loose rebound and smashed it into the back of the net. The stadium exploded again, this time with a roar of pure ecstasy. 2-0 to the Whitecaps, and as they headed into the locker room for halftime, they were in complete control, sending the fans into a frenzy and leaving LAFC with a mountain to climb. But this is playoff soccer, and if there's one thing we know, it's that no lead is ever safe. After the break, the entire rhythm of the match flipped on its head. LAFC came out of the locker room a completely different team. They regrouped, adjusted their tactics, and started winning all those crucial second balls they were losing in the first half. You could feel the momentum shifting. Suddenly, the world-class talent of Son Heung-min found the space he needed. He picked up the ball, drove at the defense, and in a flash of brilliance, found the moment he'd been waiting for, cutting the deficit to 2-1. The goal gave LAFC a lifeline and silenced the home crowd, injecting a heavy dose of nerves into what had been a party atmosphere. From that moment on, the drama refused to slow down. The game got stretched, tackles started flying in, and the tension was almost unbearable. Then, in the dying moments of stoppage time, chaos truly erupted. Tristan Blackman, already on a yellow card, went in for a challenge and picked up his second yellow, a red card. Vancouver was down to 10 men with just seconds left to play. And, as if that wasn't dramatic enough, from the resulting free kick, Son Heung-min stepped up. He curled a beautiful, unstoppable shot into the top corner to tie the match at 2-2. An absolutely stunning goal to drag his team back from the brink and force the game into extra time. The LAFC bench exploded, while the Vancouver players and fans were left in disbelief. What followed in extra time was 30 minutes of pure, desperate survival for the Whitecaps. Down a man, and at one point effectively down to 9 after another player went down with a knock, they were forced to defend deep inside their own half. It was backs against the wall stuff. LAFC, smelling blood, pushed forward relentlessly. They threw everything they had at the Vancouver goal, hitting the woodwork, forcing saves, and testing the back line with every attack. But Vancouver, fueled by sheer grit and a roaring home crowd, refused to break. They threw their bodies in front of shots, cleared every ball, and somehow, someway, they held on. Extra time ended without a winner, and so, after all that drama, everything came down to the lottery of a penalty shootout. In the shootout, you could feel the weight of the entire season on every single kick. Both teams tried to keep their composure, to block out the noise and the pressure. But in those key moments, it was Vancouver that stayed just that little bit calmer. Kick after kick, they held their nerve, converting their chances with precision. Then, it all came down to one man. Matthias Laborda, who had already scored in regular time, stepped up to take the final, decisive penalty. With the hopes of a city on his shoulders, he buried it into the back of the net, sealing the shootout 4-3. The stadium erupted one last time, a cathartic roar of relief and joy. That final kick sent Vancouver to their first ever Western Conference final, and capped one of the wildest, most unforgettable playoff nights the club has ever experienced. It's the kind of match that people will replay, argue about, and remember for years. LAFC deserves immense credit. They fought back from 2-0 down, pushed the match to its absolute limit, and showed the heart of a champion. But in the end, Vancouver survived the storm. They defended for their lives, battled through adversity, and in doing so, they didn't just win a game, they wrote a glorious new chapter in their club's history. What an incredible night for soccer. Thanks for watching this breakdown. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content just like this. We'll be back to preview that historic conference final very soon. See you then.